watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV. Now on Roku devices, I'm David Preston on this Friday, May 10th. A two-vehicle crash occurred earlier this morning on Highway 160 and Postal Road. News 25 has the story.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
Today, Friday, May 10th, just after 9 a.m., a two-vehicle crash occurred at the intersection of Highway 160 and Postal Road. According to witnesses, the white Toyota sedan was heading northbound on Highway 160 and was rear-ended by a white Dodge Ram while attempting to slow down at Postal Road. Both moved their vehicles off the roadway and into the poorhouse's parking lot before authorities arrived. The Toyota sustained major damage while the truck had only minor damage. The parties involved refused medical treatment, and the Nye County Sheriff's Office, Nevada Highway Patrol, as well as Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were there on the scene.
An appeals court rules that Steve Bannon, who worked in the Trump administration and now host of War Room on Real American News, is convicted of a contempt of a January 6th committee subpoena investigating the January 6th alleged attack on the Capitol building for refusing to testify in front of the committee. Samantha Roberts has this story.
Today, the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld Steve Bannon's conviction for primal contempt of Congress. Bannon was sentenced back in October of 2022 to 4 months in prison on charges relating to his refusal to testify and to provide documents to the January 6th committee investigating the attack on the Capitol. The judge fined Bannon $6,500 but allowed him to remain free while he appealed his convictions. The three-judge panel rejected Bannon's argument that he was not guilty because he said his lawyer advised him not to respond to the subpoena. The unanimous decision was written by Brad Garcia, the newest member of the court. Bannon, quote, deliberately refused to comply with the Select Committee's subpoena, in that he knew what the subpoena required and he intentionally did not respond. Bannon failed to comply with the subpoena, and his failure to comply was willful.
From impartiality to teaching the youth, current Justice of the Peace and candidate Michelle Fiore visited KPVM studios today to talk about her running to keep the seat in Courtroom B.
What kind of platform are you running on?
So I have to tell you, I'm so excited about our Justice of the Peace platform. Number one, I've been in this seat for 16 months and sitting on the bench and adjudicating cases from open murder to rape to theft to kidnapping, to civil, all the way down to traffic tickets and civil infractions. As we look at the platform for the Justice of the Peace Court, you know, when I first took the bench, we didn't have a veterans court or for our disabilities like autism, our mentally ill. So now we take case by case, and if they're a veteran, if it's victimless, if we can help them, if we can, you know, stay adjudication, which means put the conviction on hold to see if we can get them some help and counseling and drug rehab. That's what we're doing. So I've been in Nevada here for 33 years, and I've been a public servant, elected for 12, and then just like a volunteer for 10 before that. So for 22 years, I've served Nevadans. For 33 years, I've been a CEO, employing more than 1,800 Nevadans, helping them with their families. As an assemblywoman, I've sponsored into law over 119 Nevada state laws. When I look at my public service as a councilwoman for the largest county here in Nevada and being the mayor pro tem for the largest county here in Nevada, everything was about servicing and taking care of my constituency. And when I look at my opponents, we've got Michael Foley, who is kind of like a ghost. He's running for office, doesn't even have a website. Then we have Richard Hamilton, whom, Google him, Richard Hamilton. You'll see pictures of him in shackles and orange because he goes in and out of jail. That's an opponent. And then we have And the other opponent, who literally left California and came to Nevada to run for office. And when we look at his background, where he says he's so qualified, he started a 501c4 to remove Nye County out of Nevada and make Nye County its own state. Those are my three opponents, it's kind of even offensive they're on the ballot, to be frank. I have three male opponents, and I am the only woman in the race. I have to tell you, I'm just the most qualified. Not because I'm a woman. I love being a woman. I'm just the most qualified versus the three opponents I have. I've been through our judicial education college up in Reno at UNR for the past 16 months, sitting on this bench. I look at the Nevada state laws that I've written. None of them have. I look at my history here. None of them have it. None of them have ever done anything for Nevadans. So whether they're a man or not, I am clearly the most qualified choice to be continuing to be the justice of the peace and continuing to be your judge. As a judge, as a sitting judge, we have our judicial canons, which are a must. It's not a may or you can. It's a must. And the appearance of impartiality is a must. So anytime a defendant walks in the courtroom, we're not looking at party politics. We're not looking at who's registered as what. We're looking at each individual individually and seeing, gosh, is this a veteran? Is this a victimless crime? Can we get him on the right path? Can we help him? Is this a person that has mental illness? Is this an autistic person? Or, is this a person that just made a mistake? Or is this an allegedly quite an egregious crime and he's going to go away for a long time so we can keep our community safe? So bipartisanship, impartiality is 100% that happens in the courtroom. And I will say, when we look at what's happening here in America today, we really need to make sure our judges are impartial and they do not adjudicate with party politics, because we're seeing a lot of that in the news, and we've got to be very cautious.
If you would like to know more, you can vote votefiore.com. And if you wish to see the whole interview, you can find it on KPVM's YouTube and Facebook pages later today. You're watching Southern Nevada News Network.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Da Shop LV, vape and smoke accessories where you can always find the Aloha spirit. Located at 1555 East Flamingo Road in Las Vegas. News 25 is also brought to you by Tower Pizza, voted best pizza in Pahrump 2023. Give them a call at 775-537-2211. 775-537-2211 or visit the website www.towerpizzanv.com.
Welcome back to News 25. State Senate candidate Bill Hochstetler now joins us with our Las Vegas correspondent, Maria Centers from the Las Vegas Strip, about this year's race.
As Nevada's senatorial hopefuls campaign across the Silver State, News 25 Las Vegas spoke to District 19 candidate Bill Hochstetler, who coins himself as a straight shooter.
I ran once before for U.S. Senate, and I lost in the primary to Adam Laxalt. And some people in the party, our leaders here in Vegas and throughout the state actually said, run down ticket, Bill. We need a warm bench of people that can run down ticket and do things for our state. So that's why I decided to run.
Born and raised in Virginia by proud patriots, the District 19 candidate served in both the U.S. Army and the U.S. Air Force.
One of the things I want to make sure is done for the state of Nevada is to make sure that all of the opportunities that we have available to us are accessible by everybody that needs them. You know, opportunities are what really bring our economy forward. Educational opportunities, job opportunities. It lowers crime and it makes families operate better in the society that we live in. I want to make sure that all Nevadans have access to everything that we can provide for them and make sure that our state is vibrant and our economic diversity is strong.
After defending our nation, the Silver State Senate hopeful now serves as a vice president with a Mayo Clinic, among other healthcare and community-based initiatives.
What I want people to understand is that a state senator is a part of a team of 20 other senators. There's 7 Republican senators currently, 13 Democrat senators. The problem is nothing gets done that prevent bills from going to the veto desk. We need to make sure that our governor gets less bills to veto and that the legislature is doing a job.
Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers with News 25 Las Vegas.
District 19 covers parts of Clark and Nye counties and all of Elko, Eureka, Lincoln, and White Pine counties. Sally Cura is running for Nye County Commissioner, District 2. News 25 caught up with Sally at a recent Art Walk event for an in-depth interview. We ran part 1 on our news broadcast Thursday night. We now have part 2 of that interview tonight.
Well, I think that one of the ways we manage that is, like I said earlier, to be sure that we don't have subdivided properties coming down into places that are already zoned for 1 1/4, 5 and 10 acres, and make sure that those parcels are maintained in the size that they are. I'm with you. I came here 22 years ago. I predate Walmart, and I'm happy to have a Walmart, but I'm willing to drive to that Walmart, and we came specifically knowing there were going to be services that we did not have. We were not going to live in a place that had fire hydrants. Trucks were going to have to bring that water to us. We're not going to have street lights. We're not going to have some of the things that people are used to in their environment. We pay less taxes than those places as well. And we decided as a family that that's what we wanted, and we want to maintain that. People should have that choice. What we don't want are people to come in and think that they need to come here and change things, right? So the best development in the world. And we can have the best development plan and still really have to be mindful that people don't come in thinking that they get to come to Pahrump and impose what they didn't like in their last place on us. And so I do think we need to keep a very close eye on how we're managing parcels and pieces of property. I think that's paramount to how we keep a rural environment. We are losing out on massive amounts of commercial. Basically, we really need to be in the light industrial manufacturing kind of realm. But what happens oftentimes is we don't have the infrastructure for someone to come in and set something up. We need business development in places where someone can come, like a plug and play kind of environment, where we now have some developers that are doing some of that work in the properly zoned commercial areas on Mesquite, up 160, because businesses are going to North Las Vegas and other places that aren't coming here that could have 80 jobs or have 100 jobs or have decent wages, and we're missing out on them because we don't have commercial development already ready for them to come in. And we need to be proactive about that to some degree. And even if we don't have that, we need to streamline the process of opening a business here. It shouldn't take somebody a year to open a business. There's got to be a way that we can manage growth. We can make people responsible for what they want. We can hold people accountable, and we can still do it in a way that doesn't take someone 12 to 15 months of making a rent payment or a mortgage payment before they can make a dime or get a door open. And there's got to be a way we can manage that well. I am honored to be a candidate for Commissioner seat District 2. I can be reached at kerforcommissioner.com. And you can reach me by phone, 775-209-3992. I do have a Kerr for Commissioner Facebook page. One of the things that I have said from the beginning is I want to be approachable as a commissioner. When I take that seat, I want to have coffee with Commissioner so that people do not feel unheard, and really open up a forum where we can talk about solutions for our communities together. So you can reach me at any of those places, and I'll be honored to serve for you.
Here's Mikey with your look at sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports, and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Las Vegas Aviators got roughed up last night against the Round Rock Express, 12-7, rematch in progress. The WNBA is heading to Toronto. The league's 14th franchise has been awarded to Toronto, with an announcement expected on May 23rd, according to the CBC. There are currently 12 teams in the WNBA. A 13th franchise was awarded to the Golden State Warriors ownership group and will begin play in 2025. Toronto's team will begin play in 2026, the CBC reports, using Coca-Cola Coliseum, an 8,000-seat arena at the city's One grounds. Pahrump Valley Trojans softball earned a spot in the state championship yesterday, and today And today they will play a regional championship game at Boulder City. That game is in progress. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
We have a Mother's Day special after the break. You're watching Southern Nevada News Network.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to the Southern Nevada News Network. Sunday, May 12th is Mother's Day. A recent survey was conducted on the bond in closeness between Americans and their mothers. News 25 has this story. In honor of Mother's Day, a new survey by Mixbook reveals the states where people are the closest, both emotionally and geographically, to the woman who gave them life. Out of all the relationships we develop in our lives, there is one bond that tends to stand out from the rest, the bond between a mother and her children. For many, the connection provides closeness, support, and love. This is why people love to showcase and preserve the memories made with their mom through physical items like photo books. Whether your mom was bestowed the profound title through giving birth to you, adoption, surrogacy, step-parenting, or another path, each mother's journey is typically marked by love and sacrifice. However, as influential as mothers can be in our lives, everyone holds a unique level of closeness with their mom. To understand the relationship people have with their moms, 2,021 people were surveyed across America about them. The findings led surveyors to where in the country people are most and least close to their moms, as well as the reasoning behind the bond. Maryland, New Jersey, and Tennessee are the states where people are closest to their moms. Almost half, 48%, wish they were closer to the moms than they are. Sharing life updates, celebrating holidays and milestones, and sharing positive and negative emotions are the top things people do with their moms. Almost half, 46%, see their moms at least once a week. Differing personalities, unresolved resentment, and past trauma are the top reasons Americans are not close to their moms. Nevada ranks number 20 in states where people are closest to their mom. Here's what's cooking on Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning.
Howdy. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast, born on May 9th, Billy Joel. We'll celebrate him. In the Not an Oldie But a Goodie segment, my special guest, Mac Cornish, calls the show. And my other special guest, Mo Bandy, calls the show to talk about the 45th anniversary of his hit single, Just Good Old Boys, with Joe Stampley. And he talks about the Mo Bandy Icon Award that he just received.
Well, it was a thrill and an honor, the Texas Music Awards. And they give me the Icon Award, and then they named the award after me. And so from now on, it'll be the Mo Bandy Icon Award. Very flattered about that, and it was a thrill.
Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV, channel 25.8.
May is American Stroke Month. For those unfamiliar, a stroke is when blood flows to the brain is blocked or there is bleeding in the brain. According to the CDC, every 40 seconds, someone in the U.S. has a stroke.
When a stroke does happen, there's a sudden loss of neurologic function, which could be very devastating. It can range from loss of vision, loss of speech, loss of motor function, to complete incapacitation.
Dr. Amory New is a neurologist with Cleveland Clinic. He says if you suspect someone is having a stroke, try to remember the acronym Be Fast. That stands for balance, eyes, face, arm, speech, and time. So is the person experiencing sudden issues with their balance or coordination? Are they having trouble seeing? Do you notice any drooling or numbness in their face or weakness in their arm? Are they having difficulty with their speech? And finally, time, which is a reminder to call 911 right away.
Probably don't want people to try to do this on their own and come in by car, because there's a lot of other issues that can happen during a stroke, hemodynamic instability, blood pressure issues, and safety. So leave it to the professionals, call 911 and wait for the ambulance.
Dr. New says treatment options vary based on the severity of the stroke, and the same goes for recovery. In some cases, a person could suffer permanent injury like paralysis on the side of the body.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Taking a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam, clouds are moving in with some wind and rain. Mikey Ruhan tells us what's in store for the week coming up next.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. I'm Mike Ruhan. Happy Friday from the Channel 25 Weather Studios, all up and down the Ace Country Radio Network, and to your mobile device at KPVM.TV, and now on Roku devices. Fernley 74 degrees, Fallon 75, Carson City 71, then we get to Tonopah 59, they didn't get the memo. Goldfield 62, Beatty 73, Amargosa 78, Las Vegas 74, Death Valley hot 91 degrees, but here in the paradise of Pahrump, our current temperature is 73 degrees. We hit 76 just a little bit earlier. Winds out of the north at 10 miles per hour. Humidity 19%, didn't do anybody no harm. Sun rose this morning at 5:41. It's going to set this evening at 7:39 as we go to a low of 52 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Humidity 35%. You'd think there'd be clouds tomorrow, but no clouds at all. We got a pleasant day tomorrow, 85 degrees and all sunshine. Then we hit the 90s. There's no looking back after that. So enjoy the 90s. We can listen to some Third Eye Blind, Sugar Ray. There's some 90 bands. Back to the desk. Here's David.
Thank you, Mikey. Well, that wraps up this edition of News 25. I'm David Preston. Have a great Mother's Day weekend.